From industrial waste to acid rain. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out 10 of the most polluting industries in the world. Number 10. Agriculture. There can be no denying that pesticides and other chemicals used by the agricultural industry pollute the environment. Studies continue to show the negative impact that these chemicals can have on local wildlife and water sources. There is no one single cause of agriculture pollution. Pesticides, fertilizers, contaminated water, soil erosion, sedimentation, livestock diet, and waste requirements can cause health-related issues and have an effect on aquatic animals. In 2016, The Guardian covered a report which stated that farming was the biggest cause of air pollution in Europe. The study at the heart of the 2016 Guardian article takes it up a step further by highlighting the industry's impact on air pollution. When the nitrogen compounds are mixed with the air already polluted from other industries, they combine to form solid particles that can stick in the fine lung tissue of children and adults, causing breathing difficulties and impaired lung and heart function, eventually leading to premature expiration. Number 9. Industrial dump sites. It would be hard to put an exact number on the total industrial dump sites that exist in the world. Some countries are less forthcoming about the number of large-scale dump sites that they have. Nevertheless, the polluting impact of these sites are well known. Both open dump sites and municipal landfills are used around the world, often containing waste from scrap metal, agriculture, hospitals, households, and chemicals from industrial processes. The mixture of toxic substances and decaying organic material can impact the soil quality of the areas surrounding the landfill site. Add rain to the mix, and the result is a serious contamination of the local groundwater. As a result, they are also the last place anyone would want to live, but unfortunately, as a 2017 study brought to light, around 15 million people live and work within huge municipal dump sites around the world. Many of the people who were born and raised in these environments only have an average life expectancy of around 35 years, and many face multiple health issues associated to pollution from dump sites. Number 8. The fashion industry. Before we talk about the fashion industry's environmental impact, take a moment to like this video and join the Zero to Hero community by using the buttons below. Fashion has been a focus of a lot of attention recently. News articles, websites, and blogs have featured pieces about pollution in the fashion industry. In comparison to some of the other entries in this list, fashion is the most unlikely entry on this list. Nevertheless, fast fashion is having a considerable impact on the environment, and in particular, through water pollution. Since the year 2000, the global clothing production has more than doubled in size, with thousands of new clothing lines per year. Consumers are constantly encouraged to buy the newest item. A shocking amount of this ends up in landfill sites. The production and usage of the clothes also causes pollution. The production of clothes requires land for factories, cotton production for material, water and fuel for manufacturing, and there is the potential for lots of toxic chemicals for dyes and so on. Every time we wash them, thousands of plastic fibers go down the drain and into the rivers and oceans, and according to some recent findings, even into the food chain. Number 7. The dye industry. In close association with fashion, the dye industry is also a significant polluter. We find dyes in paints, textiles, inks, paper, and plastics which we all use every day. One of the main polluting factors of the dye industry is water pollution, which in turn has an impact on the local environment and population. The water waste from dye production carries a host of different chemicals: chromium, lead, mercury, arsenic, as well as a host of other pollutants enter water sources after being directly dumped into surface water without treatment. It wouldn't take you long online to find photographs from alleged dye factories that run their waste directly into the rivers, often causing a visible change in the water. Even without visible change, unchecked dumping of dye water waste has a massive impact on the local environments the factories are based in. Number 6. Product manufacturing. As the developed world gets greedier and everyone else is catching up, more and more consumer products are being created to satisfy an ever-increasing need. This, in turn, creates a demand for product manufacturing. It is perhaps not surprising that product manufacturing is a major contributor to an individual country's gross domestic product income and, in turn, the global economy. Pollutants from this industry vary widely across the different types of product manufacturing. However, there are some consistencies across themes. For example, the emission from energy sources used to power the production and pollution from wastewater and solid waste. There are millions of different products available to the public today, each one causing a different type of pollution at some point during its manufacturing stage. We're shown more options, we continue to want more things, and companies continue making more products. It's a never-ending cycle. Number 5. Lead smelting. Smelting is a key process in lead product production and involves heating lead ore or recovered lead with chemical-reducing agents. The lead processing and smelting factories work with both primary lead, which is mined, separated from ore, and refined into various products, and also secondary lead, which is recovered from used objects like batteries for use in other products. Lead is a very useful material and one that has become a staple part of our industrial development. Toxic air pollution is a dangerous side effect of lead smelting. The smelting process produces sulfur dioxide gas, which is emitted into the atmosphere. In some areas where the largest smelting complexes are housed, there have been a record number of acid-damaged lakes, land damaged from acid rain, and even negative health impacts on human and animal populations. Nowadays, there are regulations in place in more areas to curb the amount of harmful emissions that are released into the atmosphere, but regulations are broken and accidents happen. Number 4. Chemical manufacturing. The chemical manufacturing industry includes producers of chemicals such as organic and inorganic products, industrial gases, and specialty chemicals such as pharmaceutical products and essential oils. It also includes mixing, blending, diluting, or converting basic chemicals to make chemical products like pesticides, detergents, and cosmetics. Large companies and small households contribute to the demand for chemical manufacturing. Water and air pollution are a big concern in regards to chemical manufacturing. Pollution by chemical factories and the pollution of water and environments was happening historically, but current preventative measures have seen a decline. But that doesn't mean reports haven't surfaced of some companies being careless with their chemicals and waste. While chemical pollution may affect water, air, and soil, the chemical pollution could pose a particular serious long-term risk when present in water bodies, such as oceans, because of the long-term impact on fish and other aquatic life. Number 3. Leather tanning. The oldest leather shoe was found in Armenia and dates back 1,000 years before the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed in Egypt. For thousands of years, leather has been a crucial part of clothing, carrying equipment, horse riding equipment, and more. Nowadays, you can get nearly anything in leather from wallets to sofas, but the tanning process involves the processing of raw leather in order to make it resilient and strong. In the past, there was little regulation that had any significant results on environmental health, but today, for the most part, large companies are very careful where they get their products from. But there are still some abandoned tannery sites and some small-scale tanneries that still pose a risk to the local environment and population. Water waste is the main pollution from tanning. Contaminated water that contains chemicals such as chromium is created in vast amounts, and if untreated, it can have a significant impact on local waterways. Although the situation has improved significantly in recent decades, more needs to be done in developing worlds to ensure local communities are not affected. Number 2. Meat and dairy industries. The meat and dairy industries have a significant impact on the environment. Deforestation for pastures and agricultural land to grow food for livestock. Huge amounts of water, land, and energy for meat production. Energy for transportation, and more factors. From farm to fork, meat and dairy production cause air pollution, water pollution, and depletion of freshwater sources. One reason why the meat and dairy industry has such an impact on the environment is because of the processes required to produce the meat. These industries require the agricultural industries to feed the livestock, the logging industries to create pastures, fossil fuels to process and transport the livestock and products, and packaging manufacturing to pass the products to consumers. Nevertheless, according to one study, more than 80% of farmland is used for livestock, but it only produces 19% of the food calories and 37% of our protein. This has led some people to state that a vegan diet might be the biggest way to reduce your impact on the planet, but many are still a long way from having that point of view, including myself. While many still debate the topic, there is a strong argument for at least reducing meat and dairy consumption. Number 1. The mining industry. Etched across the landscape, we find evidence of mining from thousands and even hundreds of years ago. But the legacy of industrial mining will reshape landscapes. Vast, open mines and massive underground mines dot the planet. As has already been highlighted, as the demand for products has increased and is continuing to do so, so does the demand for materials such as copper, iron, coal, natural gases, and other minerals is increasing. The result of this is larger and deeper mines. Mining can cause a number of water pollution problems, such as acid mine drainage, metal contamination, and increased sediment levels in streams and rivers. Sources can include active or abandoned surface and underground mines, processing plants, and waste disposal areas. The results can impact domestic water supply, irrigation and animal water supply, fisheries, and even nice river swimming spots. In particular, acid mine drainage, or AMD as it's known, is a potentially severe pollution hazard. It can contaminate surrounding soil, groundwater, and surface water, destroying living organisms, corroding culverts, pumps, and other medical equipment that comes into contact with the acid water. Mining pollution can lead to health and environmental effects. High lead levels in blood can cause devastating health effects such as seizures, coma, and even passing away. This was seen in the facility of the Bunker Hill Mine Complex in the 1990s. What do you think is the most damaging industry? Let us know in the comments below and take care.